Shine on me, shine on me. Shine on me, shine on me. I've been going out of my head. I've been waiting for someone to give me help. All I'm asking for is just some space and some time, then I'll be alright.
Alright, hey guys, Jeff Beggins back again. Tactical Tuesday. We're going to really mix it up a little bit today because we're having a little happy hour here in Las Vegas. So that's
mine's lemonade. Lemonade.
Mine too. Mine too. Pink lemonade, see?
We're finishing up our global conference here in Las Vegas, and we're just chatting, and we figured we're going to bring some different value to you. Tactical Tuesday is always some great takeaway advice to you that hopefully you can implement. So we're going to kind of go one by one, because in our office, our company office, Section 21 Beggins, is made up of this entire management team. And Chris is an amazing manager. You run the Apollo Beach office.
Yes.
It has the most agents of any of the offices that we have right now.
Yes.
And you've got such a diversity, right?
Correct.
Ages and
tenure.
tenure,
Yeah.
all kinds of things. So we all know what your strengths are. What do you think is some really good advice that you think has really made a difference to the agents and what you bring to the table to the agents that you work with?
I really try and embrace the whole comfort zone factor, really try and connect with the agent on an individual basis, really understand where they are, not just in business, but in life. I mean, whether it's a new agent, an experienced agent, you know, long-term, short-term, does 20 deals, one deal, whatever it is, just really trying to communicate with them, understand where they're at so I can really work with them to take their comfort zone where they are, to take that next step. Really, to get, what I want to do is I want to get all of the BS out of the way so they can really connect with themselves to understand what their goals are. What do you want in life? What do you want to be? Where do you want to grow? What's your business going to be? What's your personal life going to be? What's that going to be? So, because if I know if I can get all that out of the way and I can get them to connect with that, and I can show them that I will support all of that, they will take that first step. And when they're successful in that first step, nothing is going to stop them from taking a second step. And then we're going to get to step 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. And once you get to step 10, all of a sudden you may hit a little bit of a plateau. And that's where I'm going to be again. And we're going to refocus all of those same things and get you to that next level. So I feel I'm really good at communicating with the agents, getting them to, on a personal and business level, and getting them to step outside of that comfort zone and show them that they have the support. Because what we know that if they take that first step and they don't have the support behind them, they're dead. They're never going to take another step again, at least in this business, if they don't feel that.
Great point. The fear will kick in.
Correct.
One thing I think you do really well also is you aware, because you spend so much time on your personal development too.
Correct.
Right, just trying to make sure that you're at your next level nonstop so you can bring more of your A game to the agents.
Yes.
And I think one thing you do really well is you realize that it's not about the goal, right? A lot of times the goal is not the motivator.
Yep.
It's what happens if you don't get the goal. Because talk about how towards and away and how you use that.
Yeah, we use a lot of, there's a lot of towards motivation and away from motivation. And the fact of the matter is the majority of the population is not driven by towards motivation or getting those goals. They're not driven by those things. The majority of the people are driven by, if I don't do this, this is what's going to happen, and it's got to be really bad. So a lot of times you have to get them not only to focus on their goals, but also to get them to start thinking in the back of their head, what happens if I don't do it? How much worse could my life be if I don't do those things? And then, you know, those factors kind of get and put a little bit of a fire behind them. So you really got to focus. You have to know the person too, because if you put some towards motivation behind an away motivated person, you're not going to get anything. And vice versa. Yeah. You're not going to get anywhere. And that's where, and that's where it comes down. Just connecting with the agent, connecting with them on an individual basis, understanding what their needs are, where their emotions are, what their family's like, because when something happens and you need a tool, you need to know what their life is like. You need to know where where they were last week, what their family's doing, how old their kids are. You got to know those things.
It's funny you said that, because if you think about Tom Ferry and Tony Robbins, they said that, you know, when it comes to goals or doing something, you associate that with pain.
Yep.
If you don't do it, it just changes the whole game.
Yep. Pain is one of the biggest driving factors that's out there, and it's just you just have to be careful how you use that, because if you use it the wrong way, you're done.
Exactly.
They'll never come back because we're like, I can't believe that he did that.
Right. Yeah. But you know that balance, so that's why I think from a coach perspective, it's invaluable to the agents that are fortunate enough to work with you, because there's sometimes agents cry.
Yeah.
Right? There's coaching sessions where there's Kleenexes in your office.
No
Because
crying in real estate.
There is crying in real estate a lot of
Someone
times, right?
else's
Chris
Yes.
is crying.
But
That's actually a little bit of a running joke in our office. Like, did anybody cry today, Chris? Not in a bad manner, but like a lot of times there's tears of joy. Like, and that is such a rewarding thing when somebody's sitting down in front of you and they start to tear up because they realize where some of their true potential is, even if it's just for a short period of time. They realize where that potential is, and now I've got something because I can always go back to that and motivate that and push that button again to try and get them to do more. Because really, it's about them. I mean, one of the things that really stuck with me when I first got into this business and talked with you guys on a career night was, it's if you can have whatever you want in this life if you help enough other people get what they want. And that's really, I just want to help them get what they want and understand what it is they want, understand where they are, because once I know those two things and who they are, we can kind of maneuver through anything and get to wherever they want to be.
Awesome. I think you do a really awesome job with that. Your agents love you for sure. Deb Haley, what do you have the most consistently badass, amazing production office for the longest running term, right? And you're amazing at what you do. You get your people to produce and rock and crank it. So what do you think, tactical advice, what are you doing that's getting them producing quickly? Because you do a great job at that. What's some value you can bring to those who are watching from you?
Not only new agents producing quickly, but existing agents adding to their business.
Get to that next level too.
Right.
Yeah. So how do you do it?
Consistency is really it. I preach what I practice what I preach. Okay, so they see me working and recruiting and everything. They know they've got to come up to my level, because not that I'm going to replace them, but they're seeing me out there doing what they should be doing on a daily basis. So I'm walking the walk on a consistent basis, and I take time to really spend with them and learn who they are. I use a lot of NLP with the agents because all the personalities come in. And you've got to be able, on your A game, to be able to deal with that person, that personality that may not be like yours. I'm a CD personality. That's what I am. And I have agents that are big S's.
Yeah.
So I have to really take the step back and get into their world even more. It's get into their world and understand where their mindset is coming from, where their thought process is coming from, to be able to help them.
So the agents that are watching this right now, what do you do to get new agents productive quickly? And what should they do to get productive quickly, from your perspective?
They start training with me immediately. I am hands-on immediately with these agents. I'm hands-on.
Training them on what though? So specifically, an agent watching that wants to go to the next level, they want to do new business, new transactions. What should they do?
They need leads. Where do you send them to get leads when they're new?
Okay.
Starts with their
Few questions here.
Yeah, same thing.
So number one, if they're brand new, they got to get through all the BS of getting an MLS and all that stuff, which I get them in and done within a week.
Yeah.
I don't give them a time to get things done that they have to get done if they're brand new.
They
got to get to work the first week, because I can't do anything with them until after that. So they've got to get in that. They've got to be on their own. I give them actually homework to do for the first month, actually, of things that has to get done in order for them to make money. But I don't hold them back from making money. A lot of them, we start talking about their sphere. So the first thing I talk about is their sphere. What are you going to do? Because it's going to be your easiest point of business, is talking to the people you already know.
Yep.
Because they're going to trust you first. They don't care how long you've been in real estate. They're going to trust you, and they're going to want to do business with you. So I also do training every day. After your trainings in the morning at 9:30, I kick in with all my new people, and I usually have 8 to 10 in there with me, going through practices they need to be starting depending on the level where they're at.
Let me jump in just for a second, because our strategy is we teach Next Level University for our agents, and then 90 days later, we have a 90-day recap, and we bring those agents back in and say, hey guys, come back in, we'll buy you lunch. We want to find out how you're doing with the company, because you've been here for 90 days already. And selfishly, to my heart, I want to know how many listings did you take, how many sales did you make, how many closings did you have. So we did a university last year, brought them back in 90 days later, had 20 or 30 people in the group, went around the room, and I was just floored. Jeff, you started, stand up, say what offers you're in, tell me when you started, tell me how many listings you taken, how many sales you made, how many closings you have. And that particular class rings strong in my head because your agents stood up and said, I'm Stephanie, I've been with the company for 90 days, I've got 3 pending contracts, 1 closing and 1 listing.
That's right, I remember that.
And I went, holy shit, that's a lot
I
in
had
90
9 of
days.
them in there.
How did you get that?
Yeah.
And she said, Op City. And I said, oh.
Yeah. So
And then I went
yes.
around the room and asked everybody,
Yeah.
and specifically your agent said,
Op City.
I've got business and I got it from Op City. I'm saying, shit, why doesn't everybody get their agent in Op City?
Yeah.
So what do you,
So
how do you
I
get them
turn
engaged?
them on immediately to Op City.
Okay.
After they get the MLS done and they can look up stuff.
Op City, for those who don't know, is a lead gen source
Yeah.
that brings potential buyers to and sellers
Yeah.
to the mix. So it's
That we beta tested because
Yeah.
Realogy included us in that process
That's
2
right.
years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
And
were
we did
lucky.
128 closings last year, $28
Yeah.
million worth of business with them.
But I think what's important is you throw them into the fire.
I throw them in
Yeah.
the fire. We don't wait. You know, they say, well, I need to wait 3 or 4 months because I'm not comfortable. It's like I get them out of their comfort zone. They got to make calls. I have them call their sphere. Op
Yeah.
City, they're excited about Op City because all of a sudden I'm getting leads in.
Yeah.
So they got to set up the ringtones to make sure they answer the phones,
Yep.
their phones
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff. So I'm hands-on with them on this.
Love it.
You know, 'cause-
And it's working really
yeah.
well.
Op City is amazing, and you're gonna hear little grumbles, well, I get bad leads. No, you get great leads, you're just not working well, call them back.
Yeah, your follow-up.
Follow
Every-
up, keep
every
following
lead is
up.
just
Yeah,
depends on
they're
every
all
lead is
good.
good.
Yeah, they're all
Some
good.
just take
Yeah.
At different times.
All right, so Thomas, right? You've got a great office that basically was starting from scratch, right? You've got an amazing, amazing team, right? You've got you really do. You've done an amazing job getting a group of people that's rowing in the exact same direction. So what's some tactical advice to an agent that doesn't work with us that they can kind of take and help them launch their career? Like, what do you do for the new ones? What have you seen work on the new ones to get some productive?
Well, I mean, it kind of goes with the same thing with what Chris said, and also Deb, getting them in the groove very quickly. I believe a lot of things have to do with mindset, because if you don't have that correct, or you're not focused, you're not going to get a lot of things done. There's a lot of disruptions, there's a lot of distractions. So really trying to get to know that individual and finding out why they really, really want real estate, why they really want to do it, and learning how to just become their friend. You know, sometimes you might just have to, hey, bring it in, let me give you a
Here's a box
hug, show
of
you some
Kleenex.
love, you know what I mean? And just show them that, you know what,
Yeah.
it's not about I'm here, you're there. We're equal,
You're right.
you know, and we're business partners. And I think once they see that, you know, that you're going to be very supportive and that you truly, truly care for their well-being, it makes a huge difference.
I
You
think-
know? Yes.
To your point on that, the business partner thing is
Yeah.
so important, and I think you do a great job convincing that though, because look, this is a business too.
Right.
This is how you provide for your family.
Correct.
And give them a great lifestyle and opportunities that they can do anything they want in life, right?
Yep.
And so that takes money.
Yes.
So they have to know, and I think you've done a great job from a business partner perspective, is when you make money, so do we.
Right.
And that's okay.
Right.
Because we're business partners.
Right. And that's one of the,
So they know you're
That's
there.
right.
right, and that's
Yeah.
one of the things I tell them too, even on my interview. I said, listen, I don't get paid a salary.
Yeah, we only.
I said, I give 100% of my time and investment in you. Only thing I ask for you is meet me halfway. Let me be part of your story. That's it.
Love it.
Yeah, that's great.
And you can't fake this.
No,
right?
No.
can't.
And they know that.
Yeah.
And because you can't fake it. I think
It's a
you-
testament to him as agents. Absolutely love, adore, and worship him. It's like you've given them so much in life and in this business, and they are so grateful and thankful for it. And it shows. I mean, they absolutely love you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. If you guys ever see Brendan Ruiz, that's a fine example
Yeah.
of just growth.
Yep.
No doubt.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
She knows you care.
Yes. And I
That's-
truly do.
So good. So what I would want to say for those watching is, if you don't have passion and heart driving you as a business partner, find it. I'm not saying you need to find it with us. I'm saying find it or you're wasting your life, right? But if you don't have people that truly think about you and have that passionate drive, we really get tied in with our people because they become part of our family, because I know you guys are the same way.
Yeah.
When they come in and say, I need to make income for this reason just so my kids can survive, we take that seriously,
Yeah.
right? That goes on
Yes.
ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you've all had sleepless, tossless nights thinking about people, what can we do to help them? And we
Yeah.
help them in every way
Yeah.
we can.
Yep.
And so I think that's a huge thing from a business partner perspective. It's not a transaction fee, swipe your card, you're an agent type of thing. You get a true family connection of feeling. So
But let
wherever
me
you
jump into
are,
that just for a second, for our agents that do watch this, engage with us too.
yes.
It kills me, but we have 400 and something agents, 440 agents, and I can name 250 that I see on a regular basis. I see them online, I see them in places, but where's the other 150? So if you're watching this, raise your hand. We want to help you.
Yeah.
Just tell us what you want. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Love it.
Right.
Yeah,
We
we
got
are.
a huge announcement last week, and
Yeah.
only 200 people engaged out of 400,
Yeah.
and it was a huge announcement.
Yeah.
So half the company knows.
What
how to
I'm
do it.
excited about that though is it doesn't really matter, right? From my perspective, because those 200 people, their life is in a way that they're okay with how they are. So a new major announcement is irrelevant to their lifestyle right now. They don't need the income. So
Yeah, that's
we
true.
love them no matter what. Now what I'm excited about is the 5,000 other ones that we haven't reached yet,
Right.
right?
Yes.
That are going to
Yeah.
attach to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're going to take their lifestyle to a whole new level and have a lot of fun
Yeah.
and do a great thing about it. So that's kind of what we want. So if you don't have this passion and this heart around you, go get it, man. Life is way too short to not be able to have everything that you want and just go get it. So there's a little glimpse behind the team, behind the family. And you know, I know from our perspective, we couldn't be more proud of the team that we have in this company. We're just getting better and better and better and better. And it's because of what's right here.
We're your partners, guys. We're
Yeah.
your partners.
I think
Six great
I think
cylinders here.
That's- yeah.
something that's meant to be said is we would not be in this position like this to be able to do what we do if it wasn't for the two of you
Absolutely.
and what you've
Yeah.
provided as a brokerage and a company. Because I know that personally for me, just a quick little story, I took the real estate course like 3 times before, passed it every time, never took the state exam. And then when I finally took the course and took the state exam and passed, and then came and started working with you, everything just kind of came together, and I realized that that was for a specific reason and a purpose, because this is the team and the company and the people that I'm supposed to be surrounded by. I was attracted to that from the get-go. So I think that we would not be able to do what we do without the support that's provided,
Absolutely.
whether it's monetary, business, personal, emotional, whatever it is. You guys have that available to us to be able to operate on such a high level. So thank you for that.
And we couldn't do that if we didn't know you had our backs too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right,
it's really
but on
absolutely.
the back of that, we live what we teach, right? And these two live what they teach.
Yep.
And so self-awareness is a huge thing, right? Just like we talked about, your skill set, that's so important. But these guys are so self-aware. I mean, especially this guy, right? So they bring me in. This guy doesn't have Facebook. He doesn't have Instagram, right? He doesn't have anything. So here I am. I'm brand new. I have contacts with Jeff.
Before you came in, morning meetings consisted of call people, get off social media, stop texting. Okay? Go ahead.
They were texting in the meeting.
So here I am, and I come in, and me and Jeff have a relationship, and Jeff goes, hey, so I think you should come into our real estate company, but you need to meet with my brother Craig first. I go, okay. So I come down to Apollo Beach, I meet with Craig, and I have no idea how this is going to go, because I know how anti-social you are at this point. I'm like, oh, Jesus, like, there's no way this is going to work out. And so he ends up taking a chance, right? Now here I am, like a week on the job, and I go to him and say, hey, not only do I want you to now pay for me, which is, I'm doing stuff you don't even believe in, but I also I want to hire a video guy to come follow us around and shoot content that we can then deploy on these channels that you don't believe in. And
I did sign up. I think it's sent to me.
And I want you to give me a budget so I can actually go spend money on these platforms that you don't believe in. And we're going to do
Remember I
all
said
this.
we invested a lot?
Yes.
This is part of it.
So,
It didn't pay off as quick as we thought.
no, but he had the self-awareness to realize while he personally did not believe in it or understand it or really know a lot about it, and he's come a long way, I think, in the last year and a half, he had the self-awareness to know, well, we need it, right? Just because I don't know it or believe in it, we still need it. And he had made the investments, and we are starting to see that play out. And so, you know, that's just a credit though to you guys, you having the vision to even have that conversation with me in that car back from Minnesota, and then you to take that step back and say, you know what, this isn't even something I fully understand, but I trust in the management team around me saying this, we need this. And you do that in all areas. That's just a prime example for me.
In fairness, I recognize the agents do need that, and I can't give it to them.
Yeah,
and
but
they do need it.
But there's so many brokers, and I'm sure there's agents watching with, and I've met with several here within the Century 21 system that are like, man, we don't have a you, right? We don't have that someone because their brokers don't understand it, and because they don't understand it, they're like, you know what? We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. We don't need to do that. We can just rely on our referral business. So
I like to piggyback on that too, because I remember when in 2015 Christmas, at your party in Jackson's, for your Christmas party, South Tampa party, because I was part of that team. And I walked up to Craig and I said, you know, Craig, I'm thinking about, I want to open up a Century 21, right? He says, well, you can open up one with me. I was like, how does that work?
And that is a growth path.
Right, and you know, we did everything that we needed. I mean, it was a long process, but at the end of the day, you know, he believed in me, and you believed in me because you guys are all part of the ownership, and your mom and your dad. And I was just like, man, you know what? They gave me an opportunity. And when we was at USAA, I was with your daughter. Remember we was going around the tables, and you know, they was making a joke because it was like, you know, Jessica goes, yeah, that's my dad. You know, he said, oh, so who is he? Is he part of the family? And we looked at each other. It's like, yeah, I am part of the family. Damn it. So, you know, but again, I mean, you know, thank you guys, you know, for the opportunity, you know, and we're still growing, and, you know, I believe in you guys, obviously, as an investment. You believe in me to, you know, allow me,
I've been going out of my head, I've been waiting for someone to give me help. All I'm asking for is just some space and some time, then I'll be all
Thank you. Put it out there.
So, my story is 2002 is when I started with you.
16 years ago.
16 years ago. I had been in real estate 20 years at that time. And I've been through a couple brokers, or 3 or 4. Anyway, a lot. But, you know, when I came in after career night, I saw something at career night I'd never seen, ever, anywhere, which was floored me. It floored me. Because it's like, well, nobody else has this. You know, and then I met you, and it's like, how old are you? But you're the smartest broker I'd ever met, and which was really amazing, because I'd worked for a lot of older brokers, a lot of really smart guys in Dallas and stuff, but your vision of what the company was becoming at that point, even in 2002, I saw with you, with Jeff, because you were doing a lot of the training at that time, and your dad and stuff. I had never been exposed to somebody that was so committed to the agents, ever. Yeah. And that, you know, and that's why I've stayed for so many years, because the level of commitment you guys bring to the table is really an astounding amount of commitment to these agents.
Well, usually, you know, I've never had a job.
I know, yes.
So I've always,
I
got out of college and went into real estate.
I know.
Which is not a normal path.
So, and you're
literally
raised.
Supported a family.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is all we know to do, and we only make money if we help you guys make money.
That's right. That's right.
Either managers or agents. So
right.
we are 100% committed to your success.
Totally.
Or we have no success.
I've been given a lot of great opportunity with you. I was able to start managing an office 5 years in with you guys, and that was one of on my dream board in 2003. To have my own office.
Things off
Yeah, and actually everything that was on that 2003 vision board that I had, you know, I've got.
Key is you had a dream board.
Yeah, I did. I did.
We're running out of time on this one, so we have to wrap up this segment on this one. But this is a glimpse of happy hour in Vegas.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Where's that tiger?
We all color coordinated except for him.
Come on.
The blue shirts.
Blue shirt today.
But you got the brand new shirt on.
Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy a glimpse into the Beggins world.
Yeah, we are.
Let us know how we can help.
Peace.